where the Nets are unsure of their plan in the event Kyrie Irving refuses to get the highly effective and medically safe vaccination against COVID-19. They are not making a decision on whether the organization will accommodate him as a part-time player this season, sources tell our Adrian Wojnarowski and Brian Windhorst. For more, let's bring in our reporter, Brian Windhorst. Windy, what impact is this uncertainty surrounding Kyrie and the Nets' preparation for the upcoming season having?
Well, they just have to start looking at the calendar. They were hoping that Kyrie Irving would be compliant with the New York City protocols by this week and that this wouldn't be an issue. But guess what? This week is here. He is not compliant. He didn't practice yesterday or today. And so now they have to evaluate it. And here's the reality. They are only going to see Kyrie Irving's face one day between now and the start of the regular season on the 19th of October. It is very hard to prepare for a season when your starting point guard you can't see for potentially weeks on end. And the reality is at the start of the season, they have a 6-game homestand starting the second week. That means they're going to go 11 days without seeing the starting point guard because he can't practice or play with you. And so when they're looking at that, they're like, how can we go forward with this plan? How can we go forward with not being able to practice with our guy and then throwing him out there for games? And the answer is, I'm not sure they can. And so this is what they're now having to consider. Can you have a part-time player, not just in games, but not even see him at home in practice? And that is something that they were hoping they wouldn't have to confront this fast in the season.
So what's the Nets' backup plan if Kyrie decides, in fact, he's gonna be the one, he's gonna die on that hill, so to speak, not gonna get vaccinated?
Well, it's a hell of a
What's their
backup plan. It's a hell of a backup plan because they have a most valuable player on their roster who play point guard in James Harden. So that's number one. I mean, they're not going to be as good without Kyrie, but that's a heck of a 1-2 maneuver they could do. And then in the offseason, they signed Patty Mills, who he is not Kyrie Irving, to be clear, but he's a starter-level point guard in the NBA. You can give him a lot more minutes, and ideally, you get Kyrie Irving to take the vaccine and come out and play in every game. But if they can't go with Kyrie, and they're trying to decide whether they're going to play this weird half-in, half-out, it might be simpler based on their depth to just say, Kyrie, we're sorry, we'll see you when you decide to get the vaccine or the rules change, and we're going to go with the guys we have and have a consistent lineup night in and night out.
Nets open up the season October 19th at Giannis and the defending champion Bucks. Thanks, Wendy. The Nets presently have the best odds to win the title this season. According to Caesars Sportsbook, last season the Nets went 11-3 when Harden, Durant, and Kyrie all played. And that leads to the agenda, where I set the stage for what you need to know. Now, I don't hear enough people talking about this. What is the real meaning of Kyrie maybe not playing for the Nets, playing half the game for the Nets? The Nets at full strength, when they have the big three playing, if they are at full strength, no one else really is going to be favored to win the championship. They have three each at their own height, right? 6'11", KD, 6'5", James Harden, Jordan and Kobe were 6'6", and Kyrie, 6'3". The greatest scorers ever at their size, arguably. And they can shoot and hit shots from every single spot on the floor at historically elite level. But you know what? Without Kyrie, the Lakers are favored. I'll bet you anything. Here, there's a bet. The Lakers will be favored to win the championship. And you know what? I'd like them too. If all their big three stay healthy, then I will take LeBron and AD and Westbrook over just KD and Harden. With Kyrie, no one's taking the Nets 7, I don't think. Without him, I think the Lakers will be favored. I think that's what's at stake here. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.